Hey guys, thanks for checking in. If this is your first time, please click that subscribe button down below. And remember, likes go a long way to help support the channel. So we are going to do a review of this Quad Lock phone case. And as you can see here, I have it on my phone now. Now the back of this has been modified, and I'll explain that to you shortly. So the reason I picked up this Quad Lock phone case is, obviously if you've been watching the channel, you know I just got a motorcycle. And I wanted to have a way to be able to put my phone basically up on the handlebars securely and be able to use it for things like GPS and stuff like that. So I recently just reviewed the Cardo PackTalk Slim, which is a wireless Bluetooth communicator. It goes in your helmet, and that's what I'm using basically to go with my phone. And I wanted to have a way to basically just be able to mount my phone on the bike and have it be stationary and not be afraid of losing it. So in my normal journey of basically just searching for products, I pretty much research everything before I pick it up. I found this Quad Lock and I decided to go that route. So I'll just take you through the installation process. It's extremely straightforward. I mean, it's probably the easiest thing I've ever installed on anything. It's really just basically two Allen screws and you're done. But let's just go ahead and unbox it and I will show you what it comes with. So the first thing we're going to open is the phone case. And this is actually, it's nicer than I thought it was going to be. It's basically just a nice plastic construction. It has an impact-resistant shell, microfiber lining, just a really nice case. And then it has the Quad Lock portion of it that goes basically as the mount to the handlebars. You can also get the car mount. They also have one for, if you're running, you can put it on your arm. They've got a couple different ones. You can check them out in the links down below. And then we'll get into the handlebar mount. You know, it has the extension arm, the 3 bar spacers, so this will basically fit any size bar you can throw at it. You get an Allen key. They also have this poncho, which I picked up. I probably won't use it all that much, but it is nice. You know, if I was caught riding in a dust storm or something like that, and I didn't want dust getting into my phone, I would use that poncho, or rain or anything like that. So we're going to go ahead and install this here on my 2018 Harley-Davidson Heritage 114. And as you can see, it's really straightforward. You just basically pick out what the right size rubber grommet is that goes on the handlebars. And then you're going to want to tighten down the Allen screws. And when you tighten down these screws, keep it loose because you're going to have to make some adjustments to it. That was one thing I kind of made a mistake with, is I cranked it down real tight at first and then realized when I turned the bars it was hitting the tank a little bit. So just loosely fit it, roughly put the phone on there and just turn the bars. Make sure nothing is hitting. Make sure that if you put a charging cable into the bottom of the phone, that the charging cable isn't going to be hitting the tank. Stuff like that. Just make sure you get it mocked up, and then you can go ahead and tighten it down. And it is really that simple. The thing I like about this case is that it gives you flexibility. If you want to mount it in portrait mode, you can mount it in portrait mode. You can also mount it in landscape mode. So really depending on how you like to see your map information, or if you're going to use it for like podcasts or something like that, you can decide how you want to see the information. So part of the reason why I went with the Heritage was I was looking at the Street Glides, and they have the screens and all that stuff, but they don't have Apple CarPlay. And basically everything you do now is on your phone. So it's nice to be able to have your phone in front of you. Now, if they come out with the Street Glide and they have Apple CarPlay in the future, that's something I certainly probably would look at. Being a tech guy, I really appreciate that. I don't need it a ton. I really enjoy when you're out on the bike. I really like the fact that you're not really tied in with tech and you're not reachable. Right now I have a do not disturb feature on my phone, so if I'm riding and I get a text message, I won't even get a notification in my helmet. It'll just automatically respond saying that I'm driving right now, I can't respond, and I'll get back to you when I basically get a free moment. So I enjoy that aspect of the motorcycle in particular. I think that that's one thing the millennials really should look at, is there's not a lot of opportunity anymore, and I really mean you have to find the opportunities to be disconnected. If you're just out and about, even in your car now, people just expect you're going to respond to them all the time. But if you're on a bike, people understand, you're not going to text while you're riding. So it's one really appreciative thing I have with a motorcycle is I get to disconnect. But with that being said, I still like having information in front of me, like maps and things like that, if I need directions. I don't need to buy a GPS unit. One thing I had to do with this Quad Lock case is on the days where it's up over 115 degrees or around 115, my phone's overheating. It's a super common iPhone thing. The problem with cases on phones is they hold heat. They have no way for heat to get out. So if you feel how hot your phone gets outside of a case, now you're just putting a blanket over it and keeping that heat in there. So what I did was I actually drilled a bunch of holes in here, and then I took a Dremel to the back side of it and kind of just carved in like an X pattern across the back of the case, little channels. So each one of these holes is basically connected through a little bit of like a tunnel. So now when I put this on the bike and I lock it in there, now air is not only getting into the holes, but it's basically able to get through the back of the phone and keep it cooler. So I've really minimized the fact of it overheating quite a bit. Now I did still have the other day when I was riding and I was stuck in traffic, not moving at all, the screen basically being hit by the sun all, and being stationary was just, it built heat and it shut down and went into heat protection mode. It didn't actually shut down. It still was piping directions to me in my helmet, but it wouldn't show me anything on the screen. It would say it was too hot. So still can't really get away from that. I do wish that there was like some, I don't know, like a flip up thing you could put on the bike, basically like a towel or something that would stay put. Obviously, if I put a towel on there, it's just going to blow away. But something that you could put over there to just keep the sun off of it, I think it would cool quite a bit more and not be exposed to direct sunlight. But that's one modification that I made. I basically just made it more functional as far as the ventilation. But prior to that, I still really had no complaints with the case. I actually love it. It's better, in my opinion, than the leather case that I had on there from Apple, which I've always liked those leather cases, but they get real beat up real quick and kind of look like, I don't know, they just look like beat up leather. So I really appreciate this case from Quad Lock. I would highly recommend it. Again, if you're interested, click the link in the description down below. And thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. And I was going to do this video on my bike, figuring it's a phone mount and it for the bike, and it should be done on the bike. But it's 112 degrees out today, and I was very much interested in sitting in air conditioning.